I still got plans that I never spoke, a lot of rhymes that I never wrote, a lot of dreams that I never lived. But if I think about it, then I mean I really did, just not yet. I used to wish that I was here now, smooth sailing on my own boat. I'm about to jump up on another plane, right before I take another toll. It's all love. If you here, you done been through it. It's your business if you into it. If it ain't mine, I ain't into it. So I don't care what you meddling. You can say.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We are also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to Facebook.com/New Haven Independent, or just go to your Facebook page and look us up and hit see first, and then you get to see all the great other radio shows that we have on this station. So here we are again, Monday afternoon after a weekend. How's everyone doing?
Doing pretty well.
Yeah. We got Kebra and Lou and Joe here in the Cannabis Corner Studios in beautiful New Haven.
It's we've been doing this. We've been doing this a couple weeks now.
Yeah, well, for a while
one or two.
now, yeah.
One or two, and it's becoming much more regular. It's I'm being told out on
in
them
the
streets,
stratosphere,
that I'll stop by and I'll say, "Hey, how's it going?" And somebody was like, "Whoa, I listened to you on the radio. Like I did. Do you do the weed radio show, don't you?"
Yeah, no, other people have said the same thing to me. I think it's good. And I think it's time now with the fall coming. The summer's a little slow. We got to step it up a little.
Oh, yeah. I
so
think we're
anybody
really
out
enjoying
there
it.
who would like to sponsor this show, we are definitely looking for sponsors and people who'd like to support us, correct?
Yeah, that's where we're looking. You know, I keep throwing it out there, those big companies. Hopefully we can, as we organize this a little bit more, get the SoundClouds out, get the social media portions out, and, you know, Weed Maps and Leafly, hopefully they'll...
I think a lot of it is really because people don't look at Connecticut as a very thriving market. Because, honestly...
we get 2 songs.
Oh, wow.
I love it. Hey, this is the 100 P's.
Why are we playing?
It's got a little background music. It's all right. Keep going, bro.
So so I think a lot of people who get a lot of the grow companies don't bother with Connecticut. Whereas if you look at Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, the grow companies are very active in the cannabis community because the people can grow there and they have customers.
Well,
so there's none of those
agricultural
customers.
companies.
But we don't even allow that here.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a whole market that they can't sell to.
Right. It's
so
ridiculous.
they see this, and our medical program's so restrictive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no rec here.
And it's so crazy because when people always are like, "How do I get into the cannabis industry in Connecticut?"
Go to pharmacy school.
Yeah. And it's like really a bummer because I do want people to be engaged and, you know, participating in our push for legalization. But I can't really tell them to, you know, because we're so limited. Of course, I try to push them in the direction of ancillary services and products. And
right, but we know that's a rough road.
It is a rough road.
They're looking for jobs. These people are looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Jobs
and they're
or business opportunities.
Yeah.
Right. And we know it takes a ton of money to open a real cannabis business here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And the jobs, pharmacy tech. You have to be to work at a dispensary or have some managerial experience. I know some people who've slipped in as not pharmacy techs, but they're managers. You know, they manage the actual business.
Right.
But you need some experience for that. You got to have a college degree and all that.
Yeah.
And the other option is to work at a grow house. Unless you have long-term experience, you're going in as a $12 an hour, $15 an hour trimmer.
Right.
And we all know, we've seen the stats, you can't live on that these days.
No.
And everybody sees big money in cannabis. But then you really look at it, who's that big money for?
Yeah.
Is it for the average person?
And I feel like people get excited, like, oh, I got a job at a grow facility.
Yeah.
And they'll even be like, well, that $10, $15 an hour doesn't matter. Like, you know, at least I'm in the industry.
Right.
But that thrill will die down really
does.
quickly.
Real quick.
Unless you're able to move your way up.
Yes.
In the
Which
business.
is definitely possible, yet limited, because we only have 4 grow facilities here.
Right.
Yeah. And there's only a
So-
certain amount of departments you can go to. You can go from trimmer to maybe supervising the room or maybe move to the extraction department.
Right.
That, you know, if that happens, yeah, that'll keep your interest in that. But that doesn't happen to every person who goes in there
Right.
to get that entry level job.
And then even there, you know, you start thinking, all right, I'm going to move into the agricultural sites and I'm going to be in the grow room or I'm going to be in extractions. Wait a second. You have to know how to grow. You have to know how to
Yeah.
extract.
It's a lot
Right.
more than just
So-
trimming.
Right.
So if you're
I mean,
in
even
there,
trimming is a skill.
A skill. We
Right.
had to teach it at the school,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
I remember, I'll never forget Ellen teaching the class.
Yeah.
She was like, you know, I tap my foot and trim to the taps. I was like, oh, okay. Let me try that.
That makes sense.
You
Yep,
start, you
yep.
know, you
She'd
start
have a
figuring
little
out your
music
way.
playing and
Yeah.
tapping and trimming on the beat.
There you go.
It gets
but it's a skill.
mundane.
Yes.
It could
can-
get mundane.
Yes.
You know, sitting there 5 days a week, just trimming for 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you can't take, you know, they make sure
Oh,
you
no,
can't
you're
take
not taking anything home.
Not slipping nothing up
You're
your
not-
sleeve.
nope, Not at all. So you're literally sitting there. That's your job. Your
Trimming.
job is to
Mhm.
imagine sitting there with a piece of scissor
No.
and paper, and you have to make little people or Christmas trees or something.
Yeah.
That's what
That's what
like.
it gets
all
like.
day.
It's tedious.
You
But
know?
then I hear like in other markets, like in Cali, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're like they make it like a big
party,
sesh,
yes.
and they-
Yeah.
you know, they got music
Well,
and people are
Big giant
passing
barn,
joints.
yeah. But
it's
they
a
make
thing.
it, one thing in Cali is you can't leave. So
Oh.
if you go there for the trim,
Yeah.
you're there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know
it's
that's
harvest and trim. And they give you a place to stay and everything, but they
Mhm.
make you trim in your underwear.
I know that's right.
Because they
New
don't.
Jack City, all over.
They do. Because they don't want you
Yeah.
stealing anything.
Now
I know
in
people
production-
who've participated
That-
in
maybe
these
at the
Cali
compound.
trims.
Maybe
Yeah.
at the compound. Maybe at the compound in Cali and Humboldt and stuff. But
Yeah,
nowadays,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays we do it a little different. you
Not
know?
in the grow
I
houses.
was-
No, they're not in their underwear.
I was at a trim party in Massachusetts that was
Nice.
it was a sanctioned event at Summit Lounge.
Really?
So you have to be a member. So it's private recreational adult use. You have to come in, be a member, pay your membership fee. So now it's just a private club. And 4 of the larger producers in Massachusetts brought in some items, and it was sponsored to help out vets. A couple of the brothers were there. It was pretty interesting, and I was like, wow, this is a full-scale event. It's a trim party. They're smoking. Oh, my God, this is amazing.
That's
And-
a different kind of thing.
it is.
But
And it's-
listen, clearly to us, this will not be what you encounter here in Connecticut.
Oh, no,
No.
that's not
You
happening.
get a trimming job, and
No.
you're gonna be nothing
No,
too
no.
fun about it.
You're gonna be
No,
wearing a
not at
suit.
all.
You have to wear this like
have to wear
hazmat
a hat,
suit.
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
You're taping up the arms of the hazmat
Yeah.
suit so
Yeah.
that you can't go up into
Yeah,
it.
no,
Can't
no
slip up
contaminants.
there.
You know,
Nothing.
cannabis is really different throughout the country, and even in our little corner up here in the Northeast, because you know, an event like that in Massachusetts, that's gifting.
Mhm.
So ultimately, at the end of it, whatever's gifted to you it's gifted. It's you're not
Yeah.
paying cash. You're a private member of the club. You're not buying anything. You're literally enjoying that. I found it super therapeutic, and it was in an area that was very artsy. So afterwards, got some live music and just stayed in the area. You know what I mean? We were able to Uber back and forth and just kind of spend like their tourism. Kind of.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, that
You
would
know?
be nice for us to be able to do here.
No,
Right.
okay.
No,
Right.
I'm saying, but we need to, you know, it's,
And
It,
this-
it would be. It's
still-
an idea.
yeah, it's still something that we can try to get done through legislation.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that's the thing that people have to understand. Okay, it's hard to get in now. we're very limited in our opportunities here. But if we lobby and advocate for what we want,
Oh yeah.
I mean, we want to have
Make
fun
sure the
trends.
right people get in office.
Yes.
Vote
the right
people in.
politicians.
Yes.
Make that your first question when you
Mhm.
see somebody who's out there running. What is your view on marijuana legalization?
Right.
And that's who you're going to vote for, because you got to vote with your interests.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So, but what I see in Connecticut is a small group of entrepreneurs like ourselves and the people that we associate with trying to build an industry from the ground up, because we're not going to get it from the legislature.
No.
So we're trying to take it into our own hands and show, like doing a conference shows, you want to show the legislator there is an industry here. We can survive, we can thrive if you just allow it to be legal. There are people here who are ready to go.
Mhm.
And, I think that's important, what we're doing.
Mhm.
But it's also not very conducive to bring in big business, because they don't care. They don't
No.
really care. They want to see where's the dollars
Yeah.
really going to come from.
And I think even like one thing I've been thinking a lot about, and I want to see, if we could really fit. I know we're focused on, legalizing for adult use here, but like if we could even break up this medical system a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So like the grow facilities, they shouldn't be growing, packaging, delivering. Like they should allow for delivery service.
Yes.
That'll be a whole nother.
That's a
opportunity
huge
for
issue,
people.
and I would realistically, if you see how the medical care, if you have the slight opportunity to see how the delivery system in Connecticut works,
Mhm.
hopefully us talking about it pushes them to increase it. But
The security.
yeah, you literally, as I'm parking to go into my dispensary, I could see the van with
Coming from like Curaleaf.
correct with the
With
gentleman.
like a little old guy.
Yeah,
like one
with the
old
gentleman,
man.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. The gentleman, the very nice, he's a
Yeah.
nice guy.
Just carrying the bag?
Yep, basically, or mostly boxes in and
Mm-hmm.
out of that back door. Tons of security on that back door.
Mm.
The amount of, but
What you mean security? How? Alarms?
the door is
Is there a
steel
guard?
door.
There's no guard. Well,
No.
well, I guess we. But that should be.
That's
something,
what it is.
If they're concerned about safety.
But the
that's not
facility
safe.
itself
Yeah.
had so much protection going into it that the actual delivery portion kind of fell through the holes.
Yeah.
Because you're talking like a Ecoline, a Ford van driving up
That
to
if
the
anybody
back.
knew, does it have Curaleaf on the side, or is it a
No.
white van?
No, it's just a white
it's
van.
But if
discreet.
anybody knew, if anybody was just watching, one day they could just see it leave Curaleaf and cut them off in the middle of the road, just like you see on TV,
Mhm.
rob them,
That's it.
and that's it. They're
Yep.
Excuse
done.
me, Mr. Nice Guy. Please
Yeah.
walk out of the vehicle.
Yep.
You're going to
Yeah.
stay here as we take your entire van.
Yeah, because it's that insecure. It's
They
not
should
done
allow a
securely.
delivery service.
Now, listeners, please don't.
Yeah,
nobody
well, I
go
was
Yeah,
out
just
don't
with
going to
the
say
van.
Yeah,
that.
don't
Don't go
go
looking for the
don't-
white van at the
yeah,
back of the
please
dispensary,
don't.
please.
'Cause
It's
they'll be
not
like,
white, we were
the
lying.
Cannabis corner people put you up to the.
But
No,
if
but
one of the-
you brought up a good point.
Right.
That the lack of security, they're worried about security for home delivery, but yet their
For
security
home
for
grow.
the delivery between the growers and the dispensaries isn't that secure to
Right.
begin with.
But it shouldn't be monopolized. Like the
No, I
growers should
agree.
not be doing every month or bumping thing.
There should
Like,
be a
they-
service. There
yeah.
should be if you're an armored car delivery service currently,
Mhm.
and you're like, all right, well, I want to deliver cannabis. There should be a protocol for you to bring in. There should be a protocol for you to be able to come on in,
Right.
into the business sector. Because
Yeah, exactly.
if say you're, I think they're starting to allow alcohol delivery soon or something like that. But
Oh
in
yeah,
some-
that
I
was
know a
up on the
couple of places
legislator.
that
They didn't
do
let
that.
it.
yeah.
They deliver to in certain towns.
Yeah.
And it all depends on what's going on. If you are one of those services that offers, a secure delivery method for anything, day packages, for businesses, for banks, for private money couriers, for any of that, there should be a way for you to break right into the cannabis sector in this state, because that's eligible in other states. You know what I mean? You can go to Colorado and just be the armored car
Oh, I know.
service.
And you can do delivery in California.
And
they're-
that's it.
But they're way ahead of us. We're still way behind the curve here. And we can see just by going up and doing the activism and talking to these legislatures, they're behind the times. I hate to say it. There's a bunch of good ones up there, but the ones who hold the power are way behind the times. They don't even know the makeup of their state. They
come
still
on.
look at Connecticut as this rich oasis.
Where was the war on drugs?
yeah.
That was the question that was asked.
Yeah, I mean, they don't. So they have their heads, up their proverbial butts.
Mhm.
And we have to help them pull it out because it's getting to the point where we're the only state in New England without grow rights.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at New York and New Jersey to legalize.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Yeah,
we're going to be
they're-
the only
they're
state in
pushing.
the tri-state area. So, you know, we're a funky state because we fall between New England and the tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
So half the state is a Red Sox fan,
Yeah.
and half the state is a Yankees fan, and
Yep.
half
I'm
the
the
state.
Yankees half.
Right, we're closer to New York, so I
That's
have
right.
always been a tri-state person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here we
Well,
got
I'm
New
from
York.
New York, so
Right. So you too, and I'm lower Connecticut, and I
Yeah.
always went to New York. That's where I partied, and
Yep.
when I wanted to have a good time, it was always New York.
Mm-hmm.
So we're more the tri-state state of mind, and then to see that New York and New Jersey are going to legalize, and we're screwed, and then up in New England we're screwed. So
Yep.
either way, we're like the island here.
Yep.
All right, our call is here.
Already?
Oh yeah, well it's
Hey.
1:18. He's only a minute early. We're good.
Smart guy. Look at that.
Who do I have on the line here?
You got Bob with Classy Joints. How are you?
Bob
Hey,
Rinalter. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me on today. I appreciate that.
All right, very, very good.
Glad to have you.
So I received your info by email, and I'm going to let you talk a little bit about yourself because I don't know which part to focus on here. But I do want to introduce you. You are one of the founders of Classy Joints, your father and son team, and you're putting together social media and social networking features in one app intended to give productive members of society a way to organize or by joining social groups. Brand strategically focuses on new emerging consumer, the non-stoner who has gone relatively untapped by the industry brands. So tell us a little bit about you, your background, and how you and your son, you and your dad, right? This is between your dad and you started this business together.
Well, this is
Bob. Wait.
Yep. You
This
got
is Bob.
the dad here.
This is
Yeah.
Dad.
Okay. We got
So-
dad. So you and your son
Yeah,
started
so-
this business together. So tell us a little bit about how this thing got started and what your focus is, because I really like your mission.
Yeah, appreciate that intro. You did a great job. You really covered quite a few bases there. A little background on what we're all about. Joe is my son, and he is an avid outdoorsman. He really likes to get out there and kind of do the things that the rest of us think about but don't do. So he'd be going out to Colorado quite often, and as the rest of us are heading towards the chairlift, Joe's throwing on snowshoes and climbing to the top of the mountain and blazing his own trail. So he really gets out there a lot and likes doing those things. And in multiple trips out there, he was seeing this industry, the cannabis industry, just exploding. And he'd come back and tell me the stories about what he was seeing. And just admiring the stories was my part in it. And then he fleshed out some ideas of how to jump in there and try to solve some of the problems that the industry was facing. And one of those problems, as the three of you know, is that the industry is not well represented in social media. Social media frowns on cannabis businesses.
Mm-hmm. I have that
try to
personal
get
experience with that.
Yeah, you try to get your business going, and you'll get up to sometimes thousands of followers, and the next morning find out that you're just shut down and you're not able to advertise and stuff. And Joe also noticed that the productive member of society as a consumer was not well represented. That 30 and older. It was more the younger people that were out there posting about their experiences. And the guy that is out there golfing during the day and consuming some cannabis with his friends is not well represented. And I think a lot of that has to do with the social groups that we have. People get out there, they meet new people in social groups like running clubs and hiking clubs, and no one wants to be the first person to mention cannabis, but everybody says afterwards, let's go off and have a beer or let's go get a coffee and further that friendship, so they're not well represented. They don't have a good platform to do that. So out of all of those thoughts, we evolved Classy Joints to give a place where productive members of society can share their experiences kind of like an Instagram format in a news feed where they're able to, in a non-judgment zone, be able to, talk openly about what they're doing. And, the cannabis is part of their life, but it's not their entire life, that they're doing all of these other cool things that everybody does. And they're just the same as everybody else, and cannabis is not a differentiator. It's something that's a common theme among people today.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think once we can bridge that gap, show that people are productive members of society, we can jump into where regular Main Street businesses will advertise right alongside the cannabis business.
Well,
So,
we're hoping
being
to
a
get
21
to that
and
point.
older platform, we'll be able to have the advertising for the cannabis business, and you won't be shut down. Your business won't be shut down by having a platform that's on social media.
Right. So right now, what is your target demographic, and what type of people are signing up to Classy Joints right now? And how does one learn? Keeper's got something.
I'm on the Classy Joint app.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have it. I was
One of our
the first
early
to down.
adopters. We appreciate
Yes.
that, Kebra.
Yes.
Well,
of
I'm going to
course.
set me up a profile too. Then you
Mhm.
gonna let
Yes,
me
you should.
sell my products on there?
Well, your products are CBD, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're very welcome to, and anything that is THC content, could also advertise. We just don't, have any sales of anything THC related.
Right. No, I got you. Kind of like Instagram. So what differentiates your Classy Joints, let's say, from some of these other sites that are also trying to be cannabis social media sites? I think there's one called Mass Roots or Social High. What differentiates Classy Joints from them?
Well, the biggest differentiator is what we call connections, and connections is social networking, where groups like Women Grow, can have a monthly meeting advertised through there, as well as someone doing a fundraising golf outing can also have their event listed there. So if you have these monthly events, or you're just trying to meet new people and you want to form a running club or something, you can list those as you would on Meetups or Eventbrite.
I was
you
going
can
to say
list
that.
them on Classy Joints Connections, and now you're in a judgment-free zone where you're among peers that are at least cannabis tolerant, if not cannabis consumers. So I think that's our big differentiator, and our target demographic is definitely 35 and older, although we do have people under 35 on there. It's a 21-year-old age restriction. But I think the Classy Joints average follower is definitely 35 and older.
So this is not one of those sites where you're going to see pictures of buds, where people are showing off the buds and how beautiful they are, or taking dab hits and showing how big a hit. It's not going to be one of those stoners. Yeah, they do get boring. I agree with you.
Right.
And so this is
I've
more
seen,
for professionals.
Yeah, like I've seen like shots of people hiking and with cannabis and doing different things, and a lot of connections. Again, like Classy Joints has been a strong supporter of Women Grow Connecticut, National Women Grow. They were at our national convention. Actually, I see these gentlemen everywhere.
Yes.
No, they are. No, they are. And these
Pretty
guys
much everywhere.
For sure.
And you're based out of Connecticut, so you're a local business. And we were just talking about this. You came on the air, trying to find our way into the cannabis industry without being a dispensary or a grower. And this is one of those services we talk about that serves the community, but doesn't necessarily handle the plant at all. What you're doing is providing a service to the people who are in the community, A, to talk to each other and network, and B, to show their events. Do you have job postings and stuff? Because it sounds to me like your little combination of Instagram, Meetup, and maybe LinkedIn, if you could join those together.
People could easily post, business could post about a job opening to, the Classy Joints following. That would definitely work. We're not trying to go that direction, but that's an evolution that it could take. As you said, we're out of Waterbury, Connecticut.
Right.
So we're locally based, same as you three are. And, we're trying to work with this being our epicenter. We had originally envisioned, Denver being kind of an epicenter for us, but, the East Coast is doing so much. And, we have New York, Boston, that we're bookended by. So it only makes sense to work out of this area and outward from this area. Although we want to be a national brand, but in every community that we're going to be serving, we want to give back to those communities. We really believe, Joe and I believe in philanthropy. We have the Renalter Foundation currently, and Classy Joints will also give back a percentage to the communities they serve once we start to monetize the app.
Nice.
Very nice, sir.
Right now it's a free service, right? You find it at the Google Play Store?
It's in the App Store right now. We tried to
actually
come
just
out
downloaded
as soon as possible. So it's an iOS app, and we're going to be evolving the Android version very soon.
So that's Bob, why I don't have it.
So, Bob, I literally just downloaded this a couple moments ago.
While we're talking.
So I figured it would be the first-hand experience about how easy this was. I went right on. I searched it. Classy Joints came up as the second hit. And then I'm filling out this register form. It's very straightforward, very simple. I believe it's only taken me a couple moments. And
so by the time we get off the air, Uncle Lou is going to have a profile.
And he's going to post
a
picture from today.
And he's going to post a picture of us from the studio.
Today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Cannabis Corner will now be part of the Classy Joints.
Oh, you're putting a Cannabis Corner profile?
I'm going to put one in there as well. And maybe Bob, we can talk about maybe having the radio show on there, because what's another great way to...
We can share our links right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is your membership right now?
We're only a few hundred members right now. We tried to come out with the app as a minimum viable product, meaning that, connections and social media would be the first thing we came out with on iOS. We're about to start an advertising and marketing campaign. So right now we're in the fundraising portions of that. So we've got a lot of interest from investors to raise money for that marketing effort. So you'll be seeing quite a bit of Classy Joints in the next couple of months. We pushed it to come out with the National Cannabis Festival on 4/20.
That's right.
So, what we launched that day at the festival, and we've had kind of a beta phase really since then. We're working out some bugs and stuff, and then we're going to start that marketing push. So you guys are, the early adopters on it.
Great. Give me 1 second, Bob. I have to do something for the show.
Okay.
You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We're streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up. Okay, thanks.
Joe
I hit the mark on that one. Yeah, if you ever need any voiceovers done, let me know, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
I work cheap.
Will work for
right.
Well,
yeah, for Classy Joint memberships.
For Classy Joints membership.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously though, if you ever need any of that, please let us know. Oh, look at that! We're taking pictures of us on the air.
Joe, you got to get in there, bro.
But then I won't be on Facebook. Oh, you're gonna get my hand. That's about it. There you go. All right, we just took a picture and posted it on Classy Joints. There you
Beautiful.
go.
Thank you.
So we are using the app, and once you get it for Android, I'll put it on my phone. I prefer not to use Apple products. That's just me.
Yeah, this is easy. So, Bob, I have
somebody
to say,
had an iPad, they could also get it on their iPad. It actually looks really nice on the iPad.
Right.
This was very easy. So I was able to download. So in our conversation of no more than 10 minutes, I was able to download, register, and post all on the app.
Look
there.
how easy that is.
If you are out there listening, it's an easy to navigate app. You guys came up with this from the start, so this is another example of ancillary services. Oh, you liked my notifications work. This is a good product, man. This is nice.
Yeah,
and it's
thank
not
you,
only
Will.
a great
We appreciate
app
that.
and a great product, but you guys are great guys.
Yeah,
So
great
I-
people.
Great
Thank you
really
very much.
great guys.
No, very supportive. Very, very supportive of this community.
Absolutely.
You get it.
Yeah, that's a symbol of the industry right now. I think, because the industry is small, you could talk to the titan of the industry as well as, someone just with a small head shop in a local neighborhood, and everybody treats you the same. Everybody's so welcoming, and the networking is great. I encourage anybody thinking about getting into the industry just to get out there, attend some meetings, and start talking to people because everybody is so forthcoming and welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
No,
group.
absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to working more with you, and seeing you more around the community and helping you build your business. Other than now, you can download the app from the Apple iOS store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you have a website too? Can you access from the internet, or is it just the app?
We're in the process of redoing our website, which is classyjoints.co.
CO, okay.
So .co is the suffix on it. We're redoing it. It originally was put up there about 2 years ago as a splash page telling you what was coming. And that's being redone to be more like the app. We will have a new feature that'll be coming out there on that website that'll be different than the app. So you'll have two places to interact. So I won't go into that too much right now, but that'll be coming out very soon.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to it. And we wanted to thank you for calling and coming on our show.
Where are you going to be next? What
Yeah,
you
Bob,
doing?
yeah, tell
You're
us
always
where you're
doing
gonna be
something.
next.
And where
Give
is
us-
Joe? Joe's probably in Southeast Africa right now.
Yeah, he said, we asked him.
He is in country right now.
He said, I'm
Yeah.
traveling.
We were at CannaCon this weekend. And,
Yes.
Kebra, I know you
Kebra
were
was there. We're going to talk
We'll
about
be
that.
talking about that in a
been able
bit.
to get into your session, but we were trying to shake hands and meet people on the floor.
Yeah, I missed it. I have a hurt leg right now, and it was too much walking for me, but Kebra was there.
Yes, I was.
What else is going
It's
on?
a great event.
There was
It was.
We've been doing a lot of stuff with veterans and
Nice.
trying to hit the veterans groups. Veterans need to
That's a great
be
market for
educated
you
on
guys.
the benefits of cannabis. So
Yes.
many of them have PTSD and they're going through all kinds of problems with that, and the doctors are prescribing the worst thing possible,
Right.
opiates.
Opioids.
And
Blech.
we don't want to be on those. I think that they need to be educated. When you bring up cannabis to a lot of them, they're like, oh no, I don't need another problem. I already got one problem. And they're not
They
understanding
still
the
look at it
benefits
as
to
an addictive substance, and
yeah.
I think that's part of what we got to do is just change the culture around that. And I see the
Right.
VA as being a little bit more open about letting veterans use cannabis now. And I think that's a great market for you guys. If the veterans could feel safe sharing their experience, strength, and hope with each other, because obviously on Facebook, sometimes maybe the VA or whoever's in charge there is looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So maybe
Yeah.
a lot of these vets are, we have some that are very active, but a lot of them just keep quiet about their cannabis use.
Mhm.
But it still
Right.
has helped
Afraid
them.
that it would interfere with maybe
Their
their
benefits, yeah. So
Yeah, that's true.
maybe
There are some groups that are helping them. New England Veterans Alliance.
Very
is
good,
one
yeah.
that we're working closely with. They have an event tomorrow night
Oh,
in
where's
Rhode
that?
Island at the Tetra Hydro Club
Oh, in Rhode
Wakefield,
Island.
Rhode Island.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, those are my people.
So they have
Jordan
comedians that come on and they
Eve.
help each other
Mhm.
talk.
Well, we'll
What's
have
that?
to go check them out. Neva,
Yeah.
right. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
have them
that's
on
a
the
great
show.
group.
Yeah.
The New
I'll
England
definitely
Veterans
put you
Alliance are
into
good
Derek
friends of
Coulter
ours.
and
Yeah.
his, connection that we use there, and he's a great guy.
Yeah. No, they are. They're good people. So they have an event tomorrow night. That's good to know. All
Yeah,
right.
in Wakefield, Rhode Island.
Very, very good. All right, Joe, we're going to be looking for classy joints out there. And again, we thank you for your call and thanks for your support out there in the industry. And there's some things coming up I'll keep you informed about.
And thanks for all you guys are doing. We appreciate what you guys are doing.
Okay. All right. Take care, Joe.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Thanks, Joe.
I mean, Bob. I'm sorry, Bob.
Oh, you got me
That's
saying
okay.
Joe too. Thanks, Bob.
I
I'll go by
apologize,
anything.
Bob.
Go by.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I get those two mixed up
All the
because he has
time.
the same name as me, Joe. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to call him Joe, but it's Bob.
Mhm.
So I apologize for that. But they're both great guys, father and son team, putting together a great app for, I guess it's for classy people, classy joints.
Well, the idea is, and I believe it relates directly to the style of cannabis user that we are as well. Because
Mhm.
we're not what one would call a wook. There's a sub.
A wook, right?
Wook,
I got
wooks.
wooks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know wooks. I don't want to, describe them, but we all know what they are.
Yeah.
They look like wooks.
They're the hobo of stoners.
Yeah, the wooks.
There's tons
And
of
then
that
you got the
subculture.
hippies
Yep.
who have still think the 60s are here.
Yeah, that's
they're
all right.
still tie-dyes. And
I like to say I'm a new age hippie because I may not wear the tie dye, and
I have the mentality, though.
right, but I
Mhm.
have the mentality, and that's kind of where classy joints comes into play. We're all professionals. We all have business. We all have work. We don't have the ability to sit home and just smoke weed. Think Dante from Grandma's Boy or any of the Happy Madison photos. You see
Right.
that guy on the couch.
Yeah, right.
mentality.
And
So,
that's what people think they're going to turn into if they start using weed,
it is not. The
Or
side
that's their
effect.
typical picture. The guy sitting on the couch playing video games, not
Mm-hmm.
working, eating pizza.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we all have like 10
Right.
jobs and 3 businesses.
Yeah, or the hippie out there, peace and love, just smoking weed. That's what people think.
So things on classy joints would be like our yoga classes that are going to start
Yes,
shortly.
more cannabis. Right,
You know?
exactly. For
So-
the people who are just cannabis users, but who don't really need to make a big deal out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not necessarily about blowing it up to the entire world. Hey, us though, that's what we do. We do tell
Well,
the
we
entire
have to.
world.
We've
that
taken
we-
on that role. We have chosen that role.
But
Not everybody chooses that
Right.
role, but they still want to be involved.
like
we
my
are the
accountant,
martyrs.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I feel like it sometimes.
It's like our accountants, If we got some, I have an attorney, I have an accountant, I have an insurance agent. When I go see them, they may or may not partake in
Like,
cannabis. Some
what
of
you
them.
bring me? What you bring? I barter
My
my
account-
law services,
my
my
accountant,
lawyering,
my
for an
accountant, I'm going to see next week. I got to bring him his payment.
But we make sure they get their medical marijuana card.
Yes, we
that's
do.
that's what
They're
we
like,
do. We
yeah.
help them out.
You know,
We're
I
not
got-
bartering because
Nah.
that's not allowed.
Not
here.
at all. But when even today, actually, a couple moments ago, Kebra,
Mm-hmm.
the guy from the rental car place
Yeah.
was like, "I need to get a medical card."
I know that's
ASAP
right.
This week, on some, I might be
Tomorrow.
on some parole stuff.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My PO said that
Yes.
if I said I'm gonna go see my Kebra.
Yeah, speaking of that, Kebra, I did an event this weekend
Okay.
with Brian. Him
Oh,
and I
yes,
worked a booth. You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
We need some of your cards because
Okay.
we want to send them directly to you. We wrote it down on a piece of paper,
Okay.
but we need some of your cards. There were some
Okay.
people who really wanted medical
Okay.
marijuana cards. So if you give me some of your cards, I will pass them out. And
Can
Okay.
help.
Will
Yeah.
do.
Can of health.
Yeah.
There's only one place to get your
But that's how
card.
but,
That's it.
But that's the classy joints. That's how people who in the everyday life we interact with each other, and Bob was right. Sometimes it is scary, unless you're like me, who's got pot leaves tattooed on his chest. But if we're working out doing yoga together, and I'm hitting my Vinashu and my downward dog, and then the person next to me is like, "Oh my God, I need to get an IPA after this because it's amazing," and I'm like, I can't do it. An IPA. Why? I'm gonna die. It's gonna kill my stomach. But I'm gonna say, if I say, "Oh well, I'm gonna smoke a joint after this," I'm the taboo one, right?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm
right.
the
But
evil,
everybody
horrible one.
drinks I was
Mhm.
thinking about today how drinking is so ingrained in the culture as the thing to do
Mhm.
after a hard day at work or to celebrate with.
Yesterday, I went out with my cousins and I drank ginger ale all night, and,
Right.
and everybody was like, "That's all you drinking?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, because I'm medicated."
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I
I
went
never
camping.
drink. You know
So-
me. I don't
yeah,
drink a
yeah,
drop.
Right.
So we went So all right, I guess maybe we moved on to the what did we do this weekend time-ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
that's
this
usually the
weekend-
beginning, right?
I went to. I'm gonna play completely guilty. I turned my phone off this weekend.
Good for you.
It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I took the family camping.
Nice.
Couple friends of mine, medical patients, adult use people. We're all camping, having a good time. more the campground we're doing tents, but there was electricity. Everybody starts drinking. The day's going on. I'm having a good day. Everybody's drinking. They're like, bro, you drinking? Oh, later I'll have a drink, no problem. And I'm eating. So these great brownies that I just did with fucking brownie. Oh my God,
you
brownie.
Bring some brownie.
No, you ate them all this weekend.
So I took some brownie, because I can't combust, so I have to make sure I medicate responsibly. So I have to make sure I now make it into
forest fires.
No forest fires. I got kids running around. Everybody want to do something. My children are jumping on top of me. Daddy, daddy, daddy. We're in the pool. We're doing. You know what I mean? So now I can't. My black is starting to hurt. Inflammation can't handle. So, cookie time for daddy. So now my buddy's like, I had 7 drinks. They're falling over the floor.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I love to watch people drunk.
My wife looked at me and she goes, "You don't miss that at all, do you?" I said, "No, I do not.
Yeah.
I do not miss that at all."
I mean,
love watching it.
I'm an adult. I can have a drink when I want to have a drink. I love a good Cosmo. I'm not necessarily like.
You're not
it's just
it.
sometimes like I usually get a drink because I almost feel peer pressure a little bit. Like I'm at the bar, so let me have a drink to be.
Sometimes I drink those fake beers just to look like I'm drinking a beer. I cover the label.
I didn't need to.
For the social aspect of it. But like, if I choose not to, like, don't be like,
They gave me the.
Imagine you don't smoke. What's wrong with you? You don't smoke weed?
We should start doing that.
We should start doing that.
Looking down our nose.
What's wrong with you? You don't smoke?
To push the story forward a little bit, I apologize. So as you said, it's so ingrained into our system that if we're going to go ask somebody out for a drink how do we go out? How do we meet new people? We have a drink. The whole idea is let's grab a drink. Let's meet for drinks.
Cup of coffee.
It lowers your inhibition. So that's where that's so, okay, well, I know I'll be comfortable if we have a drink or two. But that's not us.
Yeah. But imagine if we shared
a joint.
Exactly.
Like the whole conversation would be on a whole nother level. And
right. But we kind of do. Look, let's be real. Amongst our community, if you want to go hang out with somebody, you say, let's go have a sesh. Let's go hang out and have a sesh. But out in the public where we still have to operate, we can't just live within our own little community. You're right. Alcohol is much more socially accepted than what we do. We still have to kind of hide. We're almost looked at it. I don't say worse than cigarette smokers because people look at cigarette smokers like they're evil.
I think we've demonized cigarettes enough that cannabis is a little higher.
Now that's when I'm making a face for real.
Like I'd be out there smoking a joint or my vape. And somebody would smoke a cigarette, and people look at the cigarette guy and think I'm fine. He's just smoking weed. Dude, look at that dirty guy smoking cigarettes. But it's true. But things have changed.
And we can convert you, people. Don't think that we love you still. We'd love to have you on our side.
There are some nice CBD flowers that this new CBD joint wave thing.
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm trying to get somebody right now off. To stop smoking cigarettes, and so I'm trying to get CBD pre-rolls and because it's a nice transition. Like I guess there's this I've never smoked cigarettes. Look at these teeth,
but
that's wish I could say that myself.
I've never smoked cigarettes, but I could tell like it's a real struggle for people to stop. Like I've had patients who it just I don't know, it's so addicting.
Yeah,
and then cannabis isn't. So, come to our side.
Yeah.
We welcome you.
Well, there's so many new ways you can do it these days. Everybody's, still stuck in that thought that you have to roll a joint or smoke it from a pipe or a bong.
Oh, yeah.
But no, there's so many new ways. You can vaporize, you can edible, you can do, concentrates, topicals, there's so many different, and then you can if you have a medical card, you can control the level of THC in the weed. You could really, if you know what you're doing, you can make a nice dose for yourself and really use it the way you want to, not just be at the mercy of the drug dealer who says, here's what I got this week. You're going to smoke this with
it. I'll give you some good sour.
Yeah.
Sour what?
Sour what? Yeah. Right.
This is fire.
That's another story for another time. But nowadays, if you happen to have stumbled upon the black market and you have to go the black market route, it's you could never trust what it
You
is.
never
No.
know what it is.
Because they'll be like,
you
"Oh,
know?
this is some Girl Scout cookies right here,"
and it don't even look like Girl
it don't
Scout
look
cookies.
like Girl Scout cookies. It doesn't give you the effect that Girl Scout cookies should give you.
It was a lower
Right.
quality
Yeah.
strain from a fifth
Yeah.
clone that happened to go Hermy that they made some seeds out
you're-
of.
Oh,
that they,
geez.
If you have to go black market, look, you're better off looking for people who actually grow.
Yeah.
You know,
It's-
seriously, and that's what you
yeah.
try. You know, I don't
Yeah.
even want to tell people how to do it. But
nah.
But
But,
then
you know.
we were talking about different strains and knowing how to find the right cannabis that works with either your disease process
Yeah.
or symptoms or any kind of alteration from health. And on August 16th, we're gonna have Brian, who I know is listening because I just seen
always
Brian
does.
Essiter.
Yes, Brian.
He's
there
gonna
he is.
be on our Women Grow panel,
Yes,
and we're
he
having
is.
like a meet the dispensary pharmacist night where you can ask questions.
oh, nice.
Brian's really knowledgeable about not only working in a dispensary and cannabis and the cannabinoids and terpenes and all that good stuff, but he's also very knowledgeable about the licensure process as well.
Yes.
Dispensary licensure
Yes.
process. So it's gonna be at the Canna Health offices. So
Mhm.
it'll be a little
August
festive
16th.
place. August 16th, and Brian will be there. And
Maybe
I'm
we'll get
gonna
him on
try
a
to get
guest
a couple
the
of
week
other
before that
yeah.
event.
Yes, I'm gonna try to get a couple more dispensary pharmacists to come, or even maybe a pharmacy tech or two.
Yeah, a
to
pharmacy
come in
tech
and
would be
kinda
nice.
talk about
What's
the
it like on the
entire
front
process.
line?
Exactly. So I'm
if
working
you're
on
listening,
it. I'm working
bro,
on
I'm gonna reach out to you. All right. Well, over at the Healing Corner.
Oh yeah, we
yeah.
need you.
Dave's
Yeah.
a good guy. He's,
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou,
Dave
that'd
Szymanski
be
is
good.
a
I
good
think
guy
I have
over there,
somebody too
you
who
know?
I
Okay,
know.
so
So we can have a nice
let's
panel.
yeah,
Well, Brian will be the lead guy. I
Yeah.
did an event with Brian this week. Speaking of the weekend,
Yes.
this weekend.
Oh yes, tell us all about it.
I went to the Bohemian High Good Vibes Festival, and me
Yes,
and Brian
sir.
had a little booth.
Uh-huh.
I was selling CBD, and he was, talking about what he does, his medical marijuana consulting, and helping people, talking to them how to get their card.
Mm-hmm.
He has a really nice setup. He has a lot of info for people.
Mm-hmm.
We got a really good response. I learned a lot, and we were sending people your way, so it's good.
Thank you. Thank you both.
And I like doing those events with Brian because he's really, really knowledgeable, and he
He is.
knows what he's talking about.
Mhm.
And like you say, he does know the licensure process, and
Mhm.
and I've learned a lot from just hanging out with him. So it's a
Yeah.
great thing that we're having.
Yeah, Brian, what's up? We gotta hang out more often.
Yeah. Now, how about your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was really good. See, so Saturday I was supposed to go to Boston on Friday, but I didn't go till Saturday morning. And I got in. There was so much traffic.
Yeah.
This weekend in Boston. It was kind of crazy. But anyway, I got in about midday, got to walk the floor, saw a lot of familiar faces and friends. One of the first people that I saw when I actually walked in the building was Kara.
Kara.
And, and I had a really nice conversation with two gentlemen that she was with, and I'm sorry their names escape me, but one of them drafted the legislation or the ballot question for
Okay.
Massachusetts question 4, and another person is a consultant. And so I literally walked through the door, ran into them, and had a 20-minute conversation. And that's one of the good things about going to these cannabis conferences and these expos, is that you actually get to interact with like-minded individuals at all different levels, and you can kind of see yourself in other people. Like when I could tell the people who are new and they're just like walking around with their notebooks or their cards or whatever, and all the way up to the seasoned people who are there to speak or to, share their information. And then of course the vendors.
Right.
It was a great event. I spoke on so I was originally invited to speak on a diversity and inclusion panel. And that was primarily minorities for medical marijuana people. All of us were are minority for medical marijuana people. I'm the New England regional director. Margot Bruner is the Michigan director. Cheryl Murray Powell is the lead counsel for M4MM. And when I tell you that this woman is everywhere, like she's really trying to bring M4MM international. And so she's been doing a lot of things in the islands and working with the prime ministers out there, Jamaica and all the stuff. And then David Kellman as well. He works with MJM Strategies, which are my partners.
Right.
And he does the marketing. He coordinates the marketing efforts. And so that was going to be our panel. But Kara came to me like right when our panel was about to start and was like, would you like to maybe combine your panel with the Women in Cannabis panel? And I didn't even know who was on the panel, but I was like, sure. And so they came over and we combined both panels. We had a full
big old
room.
panel.
Yep, a big panel. Some really great women were on that panel. Asia Atwood from Massachusetts. She's developing this machine. Okay, so I'm not technically savvy, but basically what this machine does is it allows your plants to get taller, or no, keeps them short.
Bushier. I think they makes it bushier.
It's a sativa,
shorter
though, so they're tall. So it's something about so you can grow up instead of out or something, so you can fit more things in your room that way or something like that. Yeah, that's what it is. And so she's been working on that, and it's so innovative that like they're allowing her to work with grow facilities, so she doesn't need a license. She could just be as a part of their research and development. And then there was a dispensary owner, Dr. Joan, I think was her name, from Massachusetts. She also helped craft their legislation out there, and a couple of other women. There was a one of the women kind of like helped moderate with Margot, and it was a really great panel. We got great questions. It was a good time. But I got to tell you, like, so then we went on a seafood hunt, trying to find food in Boston, and we ended up at the Barking Crab or something like that. Barking Crab. Oh, it was so many people in there.
Oh yeah, Boston's packed.
Yeah, we got some great food, and by the time I got in that car, my eyes were shut. I went home. I was home in the bed, sleep by 9:30.
Nice.
Don't
lie. Yeah.
Nice.
But it was we had great discussion. It was a great panel. They actually videotaped it, so hopefully I'll get a hold of the video.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. That's good. It was always. I'm sorry I missed it, but with my leg and everything. Plus, I had that event on Saturday. I did with Brian. So, but
yeah, no, I'm glad.
it's always nice to see those.
We
got
to spread ourselves out.
Yeah,
and
it's good you got to hang out with Kara and everything.
Yes,
Back to our roots, right?
Yes, yes.
You know, that's one thing I've been thinking. It's been a year.
Yes.
Today, since the school closed. We closed on July 30th of 2017.
Oh.
This was the year anniversary today.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's a sad day for me. But
well, it's a happy day for me.
Yeah.
Today is my triplets. I have
Birthday,
2 boys and a girl.
yeah.
Birthday.
Hallie and Helena Bolden. Happy
nice.
17th birthday
and you have a
to you
grandchild
guys.
the same day.
Yes, and then Jax, he turns 3 today.
You keep the lineage going down.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
nice.
It's so funny. My ex-husband, his birthday is August 26th, and my other grandson was born on his birthday.
I think
nice.
it's almost time to get off the air,
we
guys.
didn't even talk about stuff.
Well, no, we're going to talk about our events. There's
Okay.
not a lot going on, but you just added one, so that's
Yes.
good. So this Wednesday is the Connecticut Medical Marijuana Support Group at
Yes,
Bohemian High, 7 p.m.
Yes.
We'll be there. Brian will be there, so
Nice.
he's helping with the group now.
Nice.
And then now on the 16th, we have a Women Grow event that's going to be at the Canna Health offices over on Temple Street. What is it?
178.
178 Temple Street. So that's on the 16th. It's going to be about the pharmacists
Yes, and pharmacy techs, hopefully.
at the dispensaries. That's good. And
You
then
can ask all of your questions.
nice. And we're going to be a nice little spread there. The first time we ever had a Women Grow meeting.
Yeah.
Come see the Canna Health offices.
Come see
yeah.
the office. Come see the
The
studio
little
next
space
door.
next door should be all painted and ready by
Yep.
then.
Yep.
Oh, and tomorrow we're doing certifications
In
New
Bridgeport.
Haven.
Oh, New Haven, no?
178 Temple Street from 2 to 6 p.m. So if you want to come in and get your medical marijuana card, be evaluated for it, come tomorrow, 178 Temple Street, Suite 33. I think my call box is finally going to be working.
Oh, good.
So you'll be able to buzz in, but we usually try to keep the door open. And you can go to our website at gocannahealth.com to see our prices and actually set your appointment.
All right. And then the last event is the 22nd is the Connecticut Normal Meeting. And that is at the Rough Draft in Hamden. And for those of you who don't know, that is the place that used to be the space.
Oh.
So it's in the place we used to have our meetings, so we're kind of returning home.
Okay.
Same area, but just a different building.
Okay.
So that's the events going on this month. I know there's a camp out this weekend in Maine. the Kind Mind Camp out. Other
Oh,
than
yeah.
that, you know.
That was our friend Bobby who talked about that one. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
August is a pretty slow month, and then we're gearing up for September, and I'm getting thrown off the air with the music. We'll see you
Wait,
next.
I see Lupino saying, hey,
Hey.
Brian,
Keep a lot of look out there for
Simona,
that.
hey.
We'll see you next week. Thank you. Up
Beautiful.
next, Harry the Brave.
Oh,
Gonna
boy.
break that
Talking
mainstream media.
Yeah.
All right.
Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I'm in Cali every week. I go hard. Bro said he got sour, need that whole yard. I'm chasing turkey bag. You chasing gold yard. Tell us down we won't go far. Blue sherbet stuff the whole jar. 100 P's on the Bay Bridge, stuck in traffic. If I ever run into Riri, let's make magic. Die doing something you love, it ain't tragic. Heard what I said, nigga, it ain't tragic. From the home of lay down, smoking ratchets. Never win when you spell it backwards. I got green in the bay, my whole team Packers. Hold the plug, I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Gucci slides with the G's while I'm selling P's. Walking proof, money growing trees. Hit the plug, he gon' fly the geese. 100 P's, we supply the streets. Gelato cookies and that blue cheese. Yeah, woman, she got blue knees. Call her Arizona, she got a few C's. When I'm in California, plug like what you need. Pounds, pounds, pound, pound, pound. Put the work on the table, my nigga, break it down. Moving that work since Hazel's round. Ask anybody, my niggas run the town. Told the plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Man, fill the bag, man. You know.
Hi, I'm Bella, and you can see my YouTube channel at SpideyGirls/Bella. You are listening to WNAHA LP 103.5 FM, New Haven, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Follow us and share.